Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. Today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and that is Joann fabrics. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Joann fabrics and whether or not they're closing down. I know last year they did claim bankruptcy, and there was a lot of scuttlebutt in the community whether or not they're closing down. A lot of people were saying, oh, my store closed down, and they thought that was a sign of like the beginnings. But although I think that that's sort of how it goes, stores open, stores close, that wasn't technically a sign of Joann's closing. But I'm afraid there has been some reports of Joann fabrics claiming bankruptcy for a second time. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and, how I feel about it. So first, let's take a trip down memory lane. Joann Fabrics was founded in Cleveland, Ohio by two couples named Hilda and Bert and Sigmund and Matilda. They were a small little shop that has grown into one of the largest, if not the largest, crafting and fabric store in all of the United States. Most of us haven't remembered a time where Joann Fabrics didn't exist. The store is almost about 80 years old. I know my mom used to go there when she was really young, so when I first started really sewing, the first place she said or recommended was to go to Joann Fabrics. So you may have heard the rumors that Joann was struggling in 2023, and they did go ahead and file for bankruptcy. And that did help alleviate some of their struggles and debt. But on January 15th, 2025, Joann Inc. filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the second time in less than a year. The company cited inventory shortages, high inflation, increased competition, and supply chain disruptions as key factors contributing to its financial distress. So despite emerging from its previous bankruptcy with reduced debt, Joann's still holds approximately $615 million in liabilities. And in 2024, the company reported $2 billion in net sales, operating 800 stores, 49 states, and 19,000 employees. As of right now, Joann Fabrics is actively seeking a buyer. And if they don't find one by March 15th, 2025, they will be forced to liquidate and close their doors permanently forever. Oh, it's so sad when I say that out loud. So if you're in the market, or if you have any like billions of dollars lying around, Joann's is for sale. Gone might be the day of the brick and mortar stores. With so many online shops with low overhead, the brick and mortar stores are just no longer a viable solution or option, and so many of these stores are forcing to shut their doors. I don't believe that Joann Fabrics would turn into an online store. I could be wrong. I guess it just depends on if anybody, swoops in. We could really use a saver right now, right? Just like swoop in, purchase it, and then start selling printers out of it. I don't know. Save our fabric store. I love going to Joann's because they had great prices. They have so many coupons. Like the deals were unmatched by any other sewing store, especially in Canada. They never did venture into the Canadian market. Thankfully, because I happen to live very close to the American border, I was able to hop over the border and, get some fabric over there. We also have the option of being able to purchase online, and they would ship over the border, which was really exciting as well. But yeah, they never did take the risk of the Canadian market because it is such a hard market to tap into. Our own fabric stores struggle here. We have one fabric store that is a chain, and it is slowly dying. One store kind of gets picked off one at a time. They are a chain that is like one person owns it. So if that person wants to retire, then and they don't want to hand over the keys to somebody else, then that's what they do. They close the store, which is really a shame. But we really don't have a lot of options, and we have to go online for most of our fabric. So, you know, just being able to go to a store and touch the fabric, feel it, stretch it, that is no longer an option. And I don't know about you guys, but I find it very hard to find to buy fabric without being able to feel and touch and, you know, understand it. And I find that so many fabric stores, although they have descriptions, because they have such large inventories of fabric, they can't sit there and describe each fabric precisely. So I have purchased many fabrics mistakenly thinking it was something else. And when I got it home, it was the wrong thing. And a lot of times it is kind of final sale. They won't help you unless you get sent a fabric that is a different print, a different fiber content. If it's similar to what the listing is, but you were wrong, they're not going to help you. So I really enjoy going into a store and being able to actually experience the fabric so that I know that what I'm buying is going to work for my project. You know what I mean? So it'll be really, especially for the new sewist who is just learning fabric, it's going to be really tough to be able to learn the fabrics without actually touching them. I don't know how that's going to go. So let me know down in the comments, will this impact you? Do you still shop at Joann Fabrics, or did you find that going elsewhere was a better plan? Where do you go to get your fabric? We would also love to know. I loved going to Joann, but I'm afraid in the past few years, the prices have been quite high, and I feel like the sales haven't been as good. So I found myself going over to Hobby Lobby because they have their fabric on sale. I think it's like every other week for 40% off. Although I find at Joann, they did have a better selection and kind of, you never knew what you were going to get. I know at Hobby Lobby, it seems like it's always the same stuff and it doesn't really swap out a lot. Like there are some things that are new, but it seems like they have kind of like their core fabrics that they realize is a good seller, and then they kind of just make sure they have that on hand all the time. And then only a small amount of fabric is kind of brought in and maybe tested. I'm not sure. But 40% off is a huge discount. And so I find myself skipping Joann and going over to Hobby Lobby, which I feel bad about. But you know, at the end of the day, it broke down to the bottom dollar and what was more economically viable, especially because, you know, they are experiencing high inflation and so are we. So the amount of money we can spend on fabric is, you know, going down as well because everything else has gone up around us. So it's hard for them, it's hard for us. And because of that, that store might have to close down. I feel like it's going to. I feel like it's the end. I really do. I don't know who is going to swoop in at the 11th hour, but it would be a hard sell. And if they're struggling, then it's, unless somebody has some amazing game plan, I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. And all your feelings about it. I'm so sorry if your business will struggle or if you feel like you might need to close your doors due to this loss in the community. And if Joann's is watching this, I'm really sorry too. We were all pulling for you, but this is how it goes, I guess. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.